So much could change for Michigan football in 2024. We will leave that to the NCAA. Let's look at the schedule, which we know is going to be quite different for the Maize and Blue, more so than for just about any other team in the Big Ten, because most of these teams will not be playing three of the Pac-12 teams, but Michigan will. Let's check out the schedule. Welcome to the Voice of College Football, breaking down the game we all love each and every day with you. Best discussion, debate, and analysis. And again, Michigan's football schedule in 2023, much maligned. They can't do anything about the conference schedule, but out of conference, more difficult. In conference, much more difficult. Let's size it up. Right out of the gate, they play a good Group of Five team, one of the very best from year to year, and the Bulldogs of Fresno State at home in the Big House the final day of August. Then it is Texas. Gotta be one of the more anticipated games in college football for next season. Texas at Michigan on September 7th. The last time they met was, of course, in the 2005 Rose Bowl. Arkansas State on September 14th before USC comes in. How about that? Texas and USC, and that's the Big Ten opener for Michigan, taking on the Trojans on September 21st. Then it's Minnesota on the 28th, and then opening the month of October, going out to Seattle to take on Washington. Illinois, Michigan State, Oregon, and Indiana are the next four opponents, so that Oregon game, of course, sticks out. The Ducks will visit Ann Arbor the first weekend of November, followed again by a trip to Indiana, Northwestern coming to the Big House, and at Ohio State. Of course, Michigan State and Ohio State are the two protected rivals. So there's a little bit more to dig into for the Michigan schedule changes than it would be for most of the teams in the Big Ten. Keep in mind, first and foremost, of course, right now, East and West, that all the teams in one division play everyone in your division. So you're playing six other teams in your division. For Michigan, that's the six teams in the East, three in the West. That's the 9-game schedule format right now. So the differences are going to be where Michigan right now plays everyone in the East. Next season in 2024, no Penn State, no Maryland, no Rutgers. Also out of the Western Division, consider this. Michigan will play three teams out of the West, so the Western format is the same in a sense, in which Michigan plays Minnesota, Illinois, and Northwestern out of the West. But eliminating three teams out of the East means that you supplant or replace those three teams in the East, Penn State, a really good program, Maryland, Rutgers, not so much, with USC, Washington, and Oregon. So that's the difference in the schedule right there. Replace Penn State, Maryland, and Rutgers with USC, Washington, and Oregon. That's an obvious upgrade. Or you can look at it this way. Take all the teams out that Michigan faces both in 2023 and 24, and then line up the comparison of this. These are the differences. In 2023, Michigan playing Penn State, Maryland, Rutgers, Nebraska, Purdue. In 2024, Michigan playing USC, Washington, Oregon, Illinois, Northwestern. So Illinois, Northwestern, do they pretty much line up with Nebraska and Purdue? Yeah, for an elite program like Michigan, yes, they do. So USC, Washington, Oregon, much more difficult once again than Penn State, Maryland, and Rutgers. That's the Michigan schedule breakdown. They get a difficult Group of Five at home with Fresno State, the mammoth game out of conference against Texas, and then USC, Washington, and Oregon on top of Ohio State in that Big Ten schedule. So they go from weak schedule in 23 to, wow, once we see all the schedules across the country, you got to think that Michigan's going to be ranking rather high in strength of schedule for 2024. Our Michigan Live show with John Diadamo airs every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Join John. He typically has a great guest, both from the Michigan side and the opponent's side, each and every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here at the Voice of College Football, Maize and Blue.